Alright guys, so now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty on how to play People Are Strange. Lots of stuff going on here. It's not a super tough song, but there's definitely some detail in here. So make sure you have your tab sheet in front of you. If you don't have it, stop the video here, print that tab sheet, get it in front of you. Alright, so we're going to start off with the first two measures of the song. First one's pretty easy. We're going to play the 2nd fret and the open on the 5th string. We're going to grab the 3rd fret on the 6th string, and you've got a little bend. There's a quarter bend. It's just a little bit, not bending it all the way to the next note, but about halfway there. So it's... Now we're going to form the E minor chord, holding the 2nd fret of the 4th and 5th strings, playing through the 6th string through the 3rd, like this. Right back down through the 2s on both the 4th and the 5th strings. Then the 1st fret on the 5th string. Then the open on the 5th string. Playing through an A5 chord, which is going to be open 5th string, 2nd fret of the middle 2 strings, open 3rd string again, and then back through the 2 on the 4th string, and the 5th string, 1st fret on the 5th string, open again, going to do the same move, do the A5 chord again. This time when we hit the E minor, we're just going to hit the 2nd fret of the 4th and 5th strings together, open 3rd string, and then we're going to do hammer on from the open to the 1st to the 2nd fret, all on the 5th strings. So it's going to be like this, slow. And then we're going to go through a B F sharp chord. What that is, 2nd fret on the 5th and 6th strings, 1st fret on the 4th strings. I'm going to play through those 6, 5, and 4, and then the open 6th string. So that ends the first riff. One more time slowly. Now, you can stop the video here. Remember that you can use the loop function to clip any one of these riffs that we just covered, as small as you need it to be and as slow as you need it to be. So take a good bit of practice on that. This next 4 measures is basically the same, a slight variation in it. I'm scanning it here right now. It's identical on the first 2, the 3rd measure of the 2nd time through when you get to the A5, a little bit different. And it looks like that's going to be different than throughout. So there'll be a couple measures at the end that are different. I'm going to play that for you nice and slowly, the second part here, and then I will zoom in on the 2 that are different. So we will go back to E minor. And then A5. That's a little bit different there. My picking is going to be on that second A5. It's going to be open 5th string, 2nd fret of the 4th, 2nd fret of the 3rd, 2nd fret of the 4th, open 6th string, 2nd fret of the 4th, and then our hammer on, open 1, 2 on the 5th string. So slowly it's... One more time. Then we go to the B F sharp, open 6th string. We're going to go the 2nd fret of the 4th and 5th, and the open 3rd string, and then we're going to get into the chorus. Now what happens here is we've been playing the melody of the song while we're playing these chords, and the keyboard's actually been playing the background chord. We're going to switch our roles here. We're going to now play the background chords, totally different than what we did at the first part, and the keyboard's going to step up and play what we just did. So it's really cool the way they did that on this song. I always admired that section. So the next step is going to be the chorus, and it's going to be background chords. Make sure you have your sheet in front of you. Alright guys, so now we're going to do the chorus. Looking at People Are Strange. Again, it's totally different than the first part. We'll be playing a lot of chords here that are partial chords, 2 or 3 notes on these things. Just try to follow along with your tab sheets. They're probably different than anything you've played on the guitar before. So we're going to start with what's called a BA. We're basically playing the 2nd fret of the 1st, 3rd strings, open 2nd string. The 2nd strike on it's just going to be the 3rd and the 2nd string. So let's check this out. It's going to be like a... And then going to a G5. And come up here to a B. Then back to G. B. So this is kind of the way that this is going to go. I'm going to outline everything in detail here. Again, 2nd fret of the 1st and 3rd strings, open 2nd string, 1 strike on the first 3 strings, and then we're going to just play the second and third string, going up to G5, third fret on the first and second string, and the third fret open, and then the second strike will just be the first two strings. Then for the B, we're going to be playing the 7th fret on the first string, 8th fret on the third with an open second string, and then a rest, and then two more times, going back to the G5, which is 3rd fret on the first two strings, open 3rd string, back to the B, then a rest, and then again 2 more Bs. The next 2 strikes will be just the first 2 strings on B. Then we're going to do 3 strings and 2 strings on B, hitting all 3, and then the first 2. Do that again. And now we're going to go into the verse 2, which is going to be the same type of an arrangement but different chords. So let me play through this chorus slowly for you. It's going to go like this. Use all downstrokes. Make sure you're using the mutes there. If you're looking at the tab sheet, you're going to see a lot of strange symbols for you possibly. Those are quarter rests. What a rest means is, hey, it's quiet there. So these chords are not allowed to ring. We actually have silence between the chords. So look for the rests on the tab sheet. Make sure you have the tab sheet in front of you. Next up is verse 2. Verse 2 will be the same type of feel with the rests and the chords, but different chords. So here it comes. Alright guys, so this is going to be the second verse of People Are Strange. Again, very different from the way we played it in the first verse. I'll play it for you and then I'll go through the details. Very cool chords there. Again, these are different from the way we normally play these chords. We're only using the first 3 strings of the guitar, and we're playing the background chordings. First one we're going to play is an E minor chord. Probably never played an E minor chord like this before. It's going to be the 12th fret of the first and the third strings and the open second string. We're going to hit all those together. And then we're going to hit just the 12th fret of the first and second string. Then we're going to go down to the 5th fret area to play an A minor, playing the first 3 strings all on the 5th fret. Back up to the 12th fret on the first 2 strings. Back down to the A minor, 3 strings all at the 5th fret. Up to the 12th fret. Then to our B we used in the chorus. And then just the 12th fret and the open second string. And then the 12th fret on the first and third strings. And then the 9th fret we're going to play on the 3rd string, 12th fret on the 1st string, and the open 2nd string, making an E5 chord there. And then going to the A minor again, 5th fret of the first 3 strings, 12th fret of the 1st and 2nd, 5th fret of the first 3 strings, 12th fret of the first 3 strings. Finally with a B, ending with the E minor, 12th fret that we started with, 12th fret on the 1st and the 3rd, open 2nd. Now what you're going to see on the tab here is when I'm playing just 2 notes, I don't really tell you that that's a chord. It's not really a chord. It takes 3 notes to make a chord. So if there are 3 notes being struck, I will name the chord. If there are 2 notes, it's really not a chord, but it's still indicative usually of an E minor chord when they're going back and forth between A minor, for example, on the first 3 strings, 5th fret, and then the 12th fret on the first 2. They're really outlining the E minor chord. Up here they're just playing 2 strings, so it's not technically an E minor, but it still gives you a lot of that sound. So again, slowly, starting with the first measure of verse 2, 12th fret of the 1st and 3rd strings, open 2nd string, to the 12th fret of the first 2 strings. That's what that measure is. The next 2 measures are playing the same thing. We're going to play the 5th fret on the first 3 strings, starting at A minor, and then playing the 12th fret on the first 2 strings, giving you most of the E minor sounds. So we're just going to go A minor, E, A minor, E. We're playing the B as we played in the chorus, 7th fret on the 1st string, 8th fret on the 3rd, open 2nd string, and then up here for the 12th fret on the 1st string and the open 2nd string. Again, very much an E minor type sound. Then we're going to play the 12th fret on the 1st and 3rd strings. The way I do that, you can either mute the 2nd strings to strum right across it, which is the way I would probably do it, or you can bring up your middle finger to pluck the 1st string and use the pick for the 3rd. Either way will work. Going to play the 9th fret of the 3rd string, 12th fret of the first string and the open second for an E5 sound. I'm going to go back to doing the A minor and the E sounds like this. 5th fret on the first 3 strings, 12th fret on the top, 5th fret on the first 3, and then 12th fret on all 3 at the E minor. To finish off, the B with the 7th and the 8th, and then the 12 on the first and the third strings, and the open second. So I know it's jumping all over the place here. I'll play through it one more time slowly for you. Use the tab sheets, make sure you use the looper function and the playback, and slow down this playback. All right, so we'll do the second verse. Then. And that is the second verse for People Are Strange. So we've now covered the intro, the first verse, second verse, and the chorus. Take your time with this song. It's a really fun song to play. It's one of the Stranger Things. I'm Trent.